I was working at a small college on the East Coast in the physical education department. I taught classes, worked as a strength and conditioning coach for the athletic teams, and had a separate contract with the school so that I could use their facilities for personal training. It was a very active campus. There are many trails around and through the campus for joggers and cyclists. The only time of the year that there weren't a lot of people on campus were the first 2 weeks of August. During that time, the place was a ghost town. All buildings on campus had their power cut off so the school could save some money. The only buildings that still had power were the administration and physical education buildings. In order to understand what happened, I have to explain the setup of the building as it can be somewhat confusing. It is a building built into the side of a hill and has 4 floors. There are 3 entrances. The first floor entrance, which would be considered the back of the building, faces west, and the main entrance, which is on the 3rd floor, faces east, and a side entrance, also on the 3rd floor, faces south. Confused? That's alright. It's gonna get stranger in a minute. The 3rd floor south entrance leads to a small parking lot on the side of the hill. That is the faculty and staff parking lot. That's where I go in. I walk in that door, which leads to a basketball court and 2 flights of stairs to the 2nd floor. Going down these 2 flights of stairs leads you to my office and a small gym area I use to train athletes and clients. On a Saturday in August, I had finished with my last client of the day and decided to stay a little late to get a workout in. Since I didn't want anybody walking in the building while I was wearing headphones, and I was the only person authorized to be there, I locked the south door and set the security system. When I was finished with my workout, I went to my office to finish some work and get ready for that Monday. The blaring alarm system got my attention and I walked to the nearest keypad, which was down the hall. The display showed that the alarm on the 1st floor entrance had been triggered. I turned off the alarm and headed downstairs. It wasn't the first time this has happened, and I thought it could have been a jogger or a cyclist who needs a drink, to use the bathroom, or is hurt in some way. When I got to the 1st floor entrance, there was no one in sight. I opened the door, looked around, and still didn't see anyone. Figuring they had already left, I pulled the door shut, made sure it was locked, and turned back to the stairs. That was when I heard it. On the stairs above me, there was stomping. "Hello?" I said. More stomping. "Hello?" I yelled again, in a louder and deeper voice to let whoever was there know that I wasn't messing around. More stomping. "God damn it," I muttered as I began climbing the stairs, listening to the stomping echo my own footsteps. I reached the 2nd floor and still heard the stomping above me. "Hello?" I yelled again. I reached the 3rd floor and still heard the stomps. There is nothing on the 4th floor except for the main offices. I tried to rationalize what I was hearing. Maybe it was an employee who forgot something in the office. Maybe they were wearing headphones and couldn't hear me or, somehow, the alarm they set off. I rounded the corner in the hallway and walked to the office door. The lights in the office are automatic. If anyone walks in, they would be on. They were off. I tried the door anyway and found that it was locked, as it should be. What the hell is happening? I thought. I began moving back to the stairs when the alarm sounded again. I ran to the elevator and checked the display, which showed the alarm was from the 3rd floor east entrance. I bounded down the stairs and sprinted across the main lobby of the building. I crashed through the door and looked around, hoping to see who was messing with me. Nothing. I pulled the door shut, made sure it was locked, and made my way back down the stairs. I almost jumped out of my skin when the alarm rang again. I ran back to the elevator and checked the display. It was the 3rd floor south entrance. My entrance. The fastest way to get there was to cut across the basketball court. However, the door was locked since the school used the 2 weeks when no one was around to redo the court every year. Like most gym doors, if you pull hard enough, it opens. So I ripped open the door, and as fast and lightly as I could, ran across the court towards my entrance. I rushed through the door and was standing in the faculty parking lot. There was nothing there except my car. By now I was freaking out, and more than a little pissed off. I decided to head back to my office, call campus security, and tell them someone was in the building setting off alarms and giving me the runaround. I stomped down the 1st flight of stairs and muttered curse words to myself. I hit the landing, turned the corner, and a man, who at that moment seemed like 8 feet tall, ducked down right in my face and said, "Hello." He then walked past me, up the stairs and out the door. If he had turned around to look before pushing the door open, he would have seen me, leaning against the brick wall, arms spread to my side gripping the wall for support, with what I can only imagine would have been a terrified look on my face. After what seemed like an hour, but was most likely only seconds, I peeled myself off the wall and went to my office. I locked the door behind me, sat in my chair, and tried to figure out what the hell just happened. I don't really know how long I was there, but it was long enough that my wife sent me a text asking why I wasn't home yet. I gathered my things and went up the stairs. I stopped at the door. A vision flashed before me of the large man I had seen, leaning against my car, waiting for me. The relief I felt when I opened the door and found an empty parking lot was one of the most amazing feelings I had ever had. As I drove away, I looked for the man everywhere, but I couldn't find him. To this day, I have 1,000 questions about that day. How we got in, how we got from the 4th floor to the 3rd floor without me seeing him, etc., that I don't think I will ever figure out. This is a story that didn't necessarily happen to me, but it is a very creepy thing that is going on in my town as of lately. It's mid-June, and being a normal teenager in the boring state of Iowa, me and my friends like to just drive around and chat sometimes. One night my friend and I were driving around. At the same time, his girlfriend was driving around with some other friends of ours just to give me and my buddy some alone time. It came time his girlfriend needed to go home, so my other friends were taking her home. Us being bored jackasses, we decided to take a different way around town and beat them to where they were going, just to drive slow and mess with them. His girlfriend lives on a road off a highway a few minutes out of town. This highway borders on the Mississippi, and is mainly woodland and country houses on one side, and the river on the other. Needless to say, it gets pretty creepy at night. You don't see a ton of cars out at night on this road. Anyway, we end up being right in front of them as we start on this highway, and we start driving very slow, cutting them off and just being annoying. At one point, they fly by us and continue on their way to her house. We decide to head back into town, so about halfway there we take a left on the road that takes you back into town, and that is pretty much where this part of the story ends. The next day, all over Facebook there are posts about these tall men wearing all black, with masks on, stepping out of the ditches and woodland behind cars as they pass, cocking their heads and staring at the cars as they drive away, on the same road we were on the night previously, at roughly the same time. A lot of people were getting freaked out about these stories, who multiple people posted about. It created almost an uproar in my fairly small town. People came up with a title for them, The Men in Black. People started looking for them the nights following, never spotting them again. Also, rumors speculating what they wanted, or what they were doing started popping up. What creeps me out about this whole thing is that as my friends were on their way back from dropping my friend's girlfriend off, they said they saw one of the men on the side of the road waving as they passed. I'm happy that we decided not to follow them that night, but I also sort of regret not being able to see the men. I have no idea what they were doing, or what their intentions were. Maybe they were just pranksters trying to cause an uproar, or maybe they were something more sinister. No cars on the side of the road were found, which makes you wonder where they came from. This definitely isn't as scary as some other stories like this, but for a small town like mine, I still find it weird. I will also include news articles for proof. Make sure you check out the description. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. If you would like a chance to have your story featured in an upcoming video, make sure you email it to urmaker6260@gmail.com. For those of you that follow me on social media and heard about my non-monetization thing that YouTube did, I figured I'd give a quick explanation since a few of you were asking about it. So essentially, I had a video that was not monetized. It's actually nothing new, kind of like YouTube said. This happened last Christmas. It was my last Christmas video. I noticed it wasn't even monetized from that point, but there was actually no way that I could do anything about it. So the new YouTube changes pretty much made it so you can challenge the video. They denied my video, so it's still not going to get monetized, so the challenge didn't even work anyways. But I've actually had this happen quite a few times on a lot of my videos, but I usually just contact YouTube. Sometimes they'll help me out, sometimes not, but it is what it is. So that's pretty much what's happening on that end. And I also want to put that is not the reason that I haven't been uploading. The reason I haven't been uploading is because sometimes it feels like I've done a lot of the stories, so I'm trying to find more unique different stories, so it doesn't feel as repetitive. It might just be me having done this so long, but I want to keep that excitement and the new stories in here. Now that being said, I kinda hit on this like last year. I expected this to happen a while ago, but I'm gonna start posting more on Fear Urmaker, a lot more paranormal, creepypasta, alien encounters, and essentially that's gonna go up to probably posting more than Urmaker. I'm still gonna get as much content as I can out on Urmaker, obviously. I guess I kinda tied my hands with the whole true thing, but I do have some ideas in the works to actually be able to go back to a great consistent upload schedule. So make sure you keep an eye out for all the changes and follow me on social media for any updates and all that good stuff. Now with that being said, I really appreciate everyone's support throughout all of this. And I'll probably be live streaming on Twitch later if you'd like to come join me. Maybe play some Rocket League, play against some subscribers, or just play a random game. Who knows? But if you want to join me over there, make sure you check the description for a link to my Twitch, and I'll probably put it in the comments. So I'm sorry that I kind of rambled this much. Normally I don't, but there was a few things I needed to hit on that I haven't in a while, so might as well put it out there. I really appreciate everyone who stuck around to actually listen to my updates, and I'll catch you in the next video. And just remember, it's always scarier if it's true.